J-Bob, the video game slob, coming back at ya. Another pile of stuff, continuation from yesterday's video. $5,000, Black Friday sales, taking advantage of that stuff. Seeing what a player, collector, and dealer of video games can do here. It's December. It's after Christmas. Things are still coming in. Things will come in until January, from what I understand. I got some more shipping notifications today. But this was a one from like November. This is really even before Thanksgiving. That was off of Amazon. They ran these under $100 finally. And I believe this is the last of the mini systems that I didn't have. So, I got like the, what all did they do? A Commodore 64. They did the PlayStations, the Nintendos, the TurboGrafx, all those. I even had the original mini AES that they made like years ago. So before that was like a big thing. So pretty excited to have this. I do have the Atari 400, 800, 600 computer lines in the collection. So it's cool to have the mini ones. And then the mini ones, I always end up keeping these like relatively handy. Oh yeah, the Genesis 1 and 2. Just because these are what I play, because a lot of times, like if you go to somebody's house and they just want to play video games, all they have is an HDMI TV. They're not going to have like a retro setup or anything like that. So these are super handy for, being sociable and those kind of things. The rest of these, again, Best Buy, Amazon, VGP. I think that was like $15. Anytime you watch somebody else's pickup videos, you're like, why did I not pick this thing up? It's a beat 'em up. It's based on the Karate Kid. It's on the Xbox. Just pick this up. It's probably not going to get, much cheaper as time moves on. Same kind of thing here. Not really too familiar with this adventure game, but, Switch and cheap and, director's cut. It means that, I guess it was at least interesting enough to make it that far, so let's pick that up. I assumed I had all the Metal Gear Solid stuff until I watched a GameSack video the other day, and he was talking about how there was a digital graphic novel on the PSP, and so I ended up being able to pick this up at auction on eBay for $15 shipped, probably like $16 with tax landed. I haven't popped it in yet or anything like that. I am not a big, surprisingly enough, graphic novel guy, but just a really cool piece for the collection, and it is not a it is a UMD disc, but it does get a US number on there, and actually, 108, so this is relatively early on, which is maybe why I missed it, but yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of people don't know about this. I told my buddy I had set a safe search and finally got one, and he's like, never heard of it, so he's on the lookout for one of those too. The Idea Factory sale from VGP picked up the collector's edition of the Dusk Diver. It does weigh nicely, a 44-page art book. That's something. And again, these are a little more expensive. These are like $30 games because Idea Factory just doesn't let their stuff go as cheaply as others. But if you've been watching this channel over the last couple days, weeks, whatever this whole series has been, these sort of RPGs, tactics, whatever we want to call that art style, are definitely things that I pick up. If you tend to look, at prices, go back on past generations, look at the games and the ones that go down in value and look at the ones that kind of hold value or go up. It tends to be RPGs, tactics, shoot 'em ups, visual novels, that sort of stuff. This weird, obscure stuff that doesn't get, too terribly large of a print run. So, and generally these are decently quality games that are like fun to play. I'm not gonna say much here, but is that a Game Boy Micro there? Maybe they put a Game Boy Micro on the front of that. Interesting art choice there. Little Witch Noblita, again, my friend and I both picked this up. He got his the other day, and he was admiring the fine shading work in the background. You can see it right over there. And I was like, boy, that's an interesting, visage to put on the front of this. And he goes, well, don't worry, I'm sure she's a witch, so she's 200 years old. Yes, I'm sure that's how they get away with that. The Mary Skelter finale. There are more in this series that I now need to pick up. Great, always wonderful to pick up a game that requires you then to buy more games. That's always exciting. But yeah, this Neptunia series is just freaking huge, it seems like. Every time you think you've got another one pops up. Kind of like the Atelier games. There's just tons and tons of those. Azure Lane Cross Wave, I think I've already talked about on this channel. This is the second copy I got in. I decided to order a second one. Really interesting shoot 'em up battle game where it's also sort of a dating sim, and the women are boats, but you get to date them. Interesting. There is a collectible card game, Weiss Schwarz, based on this. Do yourself a favor, go out there, look up the Weiss Schwarz cards and the artwork on some of those. Very interesting cards. Death and Request. I always love when there's like stickers or something on the outside of the art so that you know you got the first run or a more interesting run, that kind of thing. Super Neptunia RPG. You'll never guess. It's an RPG. That's what we do around here. Is that another Neptunia game? I don't know how you guessed it, but yep. Look at that physical media. And they say it will die. And then, yeah, again, I think this is the only one that came out on the Xbox, though. I'll have to double check that. But always going to be much harder, I think, in the future to find this stuff on Xbox. The people, as you can see, if you're going to have all those games in the series or just this one, you're going to go with the PS4 versions. And so lots of the people that collect this stuff are only picking up PS4s or picking it up in the PlayStation. I think you're not going to see a ton of that stuff, moving forward on the Xbox. So grab those now if you're not already doing it. The Ring Fit Adventures dropped to $35 again. So I picked up two since I saved the last one. We'll put these up for like $50 or something like that. Maybe make a couple bucks, but either try to get the dollar cost average down on mine, get that toward free, or if they don't sell, I don't know, just keep them. It's a sealed Ring Fit, with the Ring Con. I doubt that's going to go much lower. I think people are probably not paying too much attention to the macroeconomic conditions out there. We're making it through the Christmas season. We're heading into tax return season. Prices always tend to spike as supply goes down through there. Businesses are trying to offload their inventory so they don't have to claim them for taxes. So inventory is dwindling of new product. People aren't out doing garage sales and flea markets and that kind of thing through a large portion of the United States. So there aren't pickers going out there buying this stuff, putting it online. We're a long way away from spring cleaning and people pulling out this crap and putting it online themselves. And in theory, tariffs are going to hit. A lot of the stuff from VGP comes from Canada. And so if we do end up putting tariffs on, again, some of the other ones, Strictly Limited is Germany, Red Art Games is France. So if tariff starts getting put on those companies, all these games are going to get much more expensive to get new or imported into the United States. Play Asia, Singapore, that kind of stuff. So something to be aware of. And just generally the markets are strong. Crypto's up, stock market's up. Be on the lookout. If you're not putting money into this stuff now, you may be upset at yourself as you look into next year. But Ys, I probably should have the entire Ys series. I know I have some of the old ones going back to the Super Nintendo. I have that one like complete in box. But yeah, I did not pick up Ys Nordiques yet, but that's on the list. Again, the cute 'em ups with Cotton, getting them all on the PS4 and then thinking like, why don't I own all these shoot 'em ups and cute 'em ups on the Switch? I might as well just, double down and have copies on each system. That way, whichever one turns out to be more rare, more valuable, more desirable in the future, I have it, can prevent FOMO. There seems to be an upskirt aesthetic going on in the games that are coming out of IN, and Idea Factory. Again, Turrikins, I picked up the PS4 ones and saw a cheap one for the IN sale and grabbed that. And it's, slapping beans. It's just too crazy. It's not even going to focus on there. Of a title not to pick up. So there you go. Pretty cool. Let's see. Video game manual came into the video game store. He's like, get that out of my way. So we'll put that in the giant pile. This one is really interesting, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting a loose one, or maybe a second copy, so I think this is like $20, but you can only order one at a time, so I might have to see if this sold out and go get another one, because it's made by Game Freak, the people who did Pokemon. It comes in a nice big box, gives you all the touchy-feelies, the lapel pins, all this kind of stuff, and I thought it was more of like a farm sim, that kind of thing, but it turns out it's more of a battle-fighting RPG type game. And so, yeah, looks can be deceiving, or names can be deceiving, I guess. And so, shouldn't have judged the book by its cover there, and so I'll have to pick up another one of those. And then last pickup for today, the NIS Collection Volume 3. The deluxe editions of these, they have 2 games in there if you can't tell. Rhapsody, an expensive game on the PS1, of course. And Prinny, those games are great. If you don't have those, go get those. And just generally anything NIS you should probably be collecting out there. But what sucks about these is I got all 3 of them for like $50 or $60. Like I bought the whole collection. Somebody had them used and in very good condition. But, and at least to my knowledge, these didn't get any reprints, and I doubt they would, because the deluxe editions is several of these games in this like 6-game series have game-breaking bugs because they literally just ported over PS2 versions or PS1 versions of these and didn't do a lot of the extra work. And so unless you put them into a system and that system connects to the internet, you can get stuck like halfway through the games, which is, frustrating and a little bit of a letdown, especially from a company like this. So, for whatever I paid for this, like $25, I think that one was. I'm not too worried about it to have a sealed copy, and I think in the near future, people are, the servers will be up. You'll be able to get those updates. But really a shame they didn't put more work into games that are, classics, which is why they're getting reprints. So there you go. J Bob the Video Game Slob here, going through some more pickups. There will definitely be more videos about this stuff, but obviously it'll be great to go back to the collection videos, what we already have. Go back into what's selling in the month of December. We'll have the end of the month December sales report coming up here soon, but yeah, things are going well, not as fast as they were in November or anything like that. So we'll come back next time. YouTube, J Bob the Video Game Slob. Over and out.